Adim Okwesa is here, a member of the research team at Financial Derivatives. Of course, they're keeping an eye on the big story for today, which is the MPC. They think there's going to be a rate cut. They also have the big Nigeria and Siemens power sector deal in their crosshairs. Let's get a bit of flesh on this from Adim. Good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning.
These are two big stories that you folks are tracking of burning economic stories.
Yes, most definitely. Yes, I think the first point on burning economic issues is the MPC concludes today, and there could be a rate cut today. I think just like other central banks, other emerging market central banks are taking direction from the U.S. Fed and other advanced economies, other central banks and other advanced economies. I think the most clear signal that the U.S. Fed is on an easing cycle was during the last week's congressional testimony.
So what's the take from MPC? Oh, sorry, from FDC? A lot of C's
we think there is a possibility that there will be a rate cut, but if you look at all the factors in play...
I'm looking at the screen and looking at 50, right?
Yes, 50 basis points. But if you look at all the factors in play, yes, there is no physical team in play. And apart from that, the CBN has also intensified its bid to try and persuade banks to extend credit to the private sector. So with that in mind, maybe perhaps the CBN will just wait to assess the impact of these policies, the impact of its interventionist policies, and also try and maintain stability so there is a physical team in place. But at the same time, the CBN, the US Fed is on an easing cycle. If not this July 31st meeting, then most definitely September, October, the US Fed will cut. So that means there is certainly less pressure for us there's certainly more room for us to cut rates.
To become accommodative in our outlook. But
exactly.
One big story yesterday, we need to move on, has to do with the Siemens power deal with the Nigerian government. I'm sure you folks are all over this deal, trying to get more details. How do you think that will help us resolve a very nasty power problem, which currently supply stays below 40,000 megawatts per hour?
Yes, this deal could be potentially very transformative for the power sector in the medium to long term. It's going to be on a government-to-government basis. We're going to be dealing with Germany as well as Siemens AG. However, there's one crucial element that was missing from the president's speech, and that was no mention of tariff review in the power sector. We know that inefficiency in the power sector is centered around the performance of the discos. Tariffs are too low for them to recover their costs. So without cost-reflective tariffs, it would be extremely difficult. And of course, those losses filter up supply chain, making any power that is being produced being unable to be sold profitably. So it's a very intractable solution. We need to address that situation unless government targets of increasing power to 7,000 megawatts by 2021, 11,000 megawatts by 2023. It's very difficult to achieve those targets without...
I want to believe that Mr. President is thinking like, look, I don't want to put pressure on Nigerians to pay higher electricity tariff. Perhaps I could quickly have a handshake with the Germans and get them to work on increasing power supply to make it stable. Then we can come back and ask you and I, the rest of us, to increase tariff. It looks like to me like this is where the president is going. Folks have said, look, I want to pay more, and I'm willing to pay more, but I don't have the power supply. If you give me the supply, you ask for more, I'm going to pay. So perhaps Mr. President is thinking, okay, let's make the power possible. Then you and I won't have any excuse to say a higher tariff is not acceptable. That's my thinking. I'm helping Mr. President to think. I think that's the way. Perhaps that's the reason why tariff was not mentioned in his 3-page statement yesterday. But of course, we'll still get more clarity as days go by. So let's add crude oil to the conversation. Britain and Iran still having the face-off on the Strait of Hormuz, that tanker that was seized. Some folks say it was an empty tanker. Some folks say there's oil in it. But oil prices keep moving up on the back of this geopolitical brickbat.
Yes, I must say. But with that in mind, oil prices, the market's reaction to what is happening in the Persian Gulf has been very muted, has been very moderate. Because if you look at it, there has been a pattern of escalation between Iran and the West for a couple of months. Okay. And this is one of the most critical waterways in the oil industry.
So maybe oil traders believe that, look, don't get us too upset over this. It's likely going to happen again.
Yes, so all in all, market should have reacted more strongly towards what's happening.
Because it's likely going to happen again.
But I think what is happening is that there's this macroeconomic backdrop that is keeping oil prices low.
Ah, okay.
Perhaps this content of what that means to the oil demand for oil in this half of the year.
If prices go too high.
And 2020, yes. So I think that's what is keeping oil prices low, muted at this point in time. Because ordinarily, there is a heightened risk of a miscalculation, and this could escalate into a possible military confrontation. Because if you look back in history, 1987, 1986, there's a similar thing between Iran and the U.S. During the Iran-Iraq war. There was some kind of oil storage tanker wars.
And prices went
exactly
seriously haywire.
And that escalated into attacks on U.S. ships, U.S. aircraft. So there is a risk that could happen again, but oil prices are not pricing that in yet.
No, there's nothing more important than the lessons of history.
Yes.
Thank you so much. See you again on Thursday. Adimo Kwesa from Financial Derivatives will be back on Thursday, bringing us up to date on the world of commodities.